Hi everyone, I'm Oleg,
And I'm Vadim.
and today we're going to talk about the most exciting release from Apple, the iPhone 16. I mean, everyone was waiting for this. We got this iPhone in our studio this Monday or Friday. We had a few days to test it out, so today we'll talk about our initial testing thoughts, give you impressions. We'll talk about the Beastgrip gear, the compatibility of Beastgrip gear with these new iPhones, and at the end, we'll give you some information about the exciting releases we planned for this fall. You had some time to test these new iPhones. What can you say about these new iPhones?
That's the best iPhones yet,
Definitely.
right? It's always like with all the new releases, we got the best devices. Uh, what I actually like is that it didn't change much, specifically with the camera, because that's like the most kind of difficult thing when camera changed dramatically. We don't know how it's gonna work, what we
Yeah.
have to do about that. But this year, actual camera module is about it's exactly the same in terms of like position, sizes, protrusion, everything. The only difference is, of course, the size of the device. They got a little bit bigger with better and bigger screens, but overall it's the same feel, look as
As a
iPhone
15th,
15.
yeah.
And for me personally, 15 Pro Max, that's were the best like iPhones ever, just because of
There was many big changes.
yeah, with ProRes, with USB-C, so we got all of that here. Plus,
So they built in on the iPhone 15, just gave us a few upgrades.
we don't
Kind of.
know. I mean, it's new processor, everything is new,
Yeah.
so it still looks the same way. But again, I like it because just how I loved the 15 Pro and Pro Max. We have some new things in camera. Of course, we got this camera control, but overall, it's about the same experience. And yeah, but we want to address like camera control and
Yeah,
all of that
separately.
just to give
Yeah.
update because we had those questions. But yeah, I mean, uh, I like it a lot, and but you see that's the thing with new iPhones, you have to kind of use them more, compare camera. It was not enough time just to kind of film a lot, compare and see if like how much it better compared to previous 15. But at the first look, it all looks great, so I'm
So
excited
what
to
would you
test
say
more.
if someone has iPhone 14, upgrade? If someone has iPhone 15, would you recommend the upgrade?
I don't know, man. It's like again because 15 was so good, like like really good. Apple ProRes log was such a great addition to the camera. It's
Definitely from
hard,
14 to 16,
yeah,
it's a big jump, but
yeah.
from 15 to 16, as I said, they're like built on whatever they had the previous year with.
You see, it's unclear what's gonna be about like that Apple Intelligence.
So
If we're
what
gonna have
is
any
there
difference.
info when that's coming out, that update or
I don't know, but right now I kind of didn't see anything yet. But to be honest with you, I didn't even look at it. I was focused on the camera more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends. We don't know if it's gonna be any like additional features for Apple Intelligence or not. Again, we have to test more cameras and see. But 15 Pros, they were such a great devices, and I think if somebody has it, it's hard, sell, I guess, to upgrade to this one. But if you have 14 or
Definitely.
like anything before or just regular iPhones, I would jump to this one quickly because it's great.
So have you tested the new camera control?
I did.
Do you like it? Is it
I mean,
how is the feel? Because that's definitely a new, the layout. You never had anything on that side. So
yeah, we will
changes how you
address
hold and
control because in relation to the gear, but to me it's great to have like quick access to the camera. Yeah, you could do this with action button, but right now I just know that when I press this button, I'm gonna launch my camera and I can snap a photo, start video. In terms of like controls for different features, I didn't have time to kind of play much with that. My first impression is I figured out what it does, what I have to do, no problem, like right away. But I feel like some of the features that I use the most, like changing the camera, so zoom, I used to like on-screen control.
To get used to the old layout.
Yeah, it's hard for me to kind of start using
Well,
differently.
definitely has a little bit of learning curve, for
I think it's not even learning, it just your like muscle memory, whatever it is.
definitely.
Because like when I hold my device like that, if I'm trying to shoot like horizontal one-handed, I used to press
Your finger got used.
tap on the screen all the time here, and it just like I naturally grab my phone like this, and in this position it's not really comfortable.
Well, you gotta relearn.
Yeah,
and
if you hold it like that, I guess.
yeah. Well,
that's
maybe that's
within
the
the
intention.
region, it's comfortable. Yeah, but if you hold like this, for example, I mean that's I don't know how I have to.
Was
well, like this, you see.
Yeah. Well,
So
we'll get used to it.
I guess for all those years, we used to like touch screens so much, especially with the layout of like native camera that didn't change. Like it's the same, controls all the time. It's just hard to rewire yourself and learn something new. But
So we actually going. You cannot say we're going back, but we're going from more buttons. You know what I mean? To the screen, and then from screen, now they're probably going to start introducing
even more buttons. Yeah, but I did like this video with Michael Tobin where we kind of were talking about leaks and what is coming and questions that people were asking about control, but button because how we gonna implement it, and we didn't know if it's gonna be like just capacitive or whatever. But this one is actually like combination of both mechanical plus additional like sensor surface that you can swipe and everything. So you actually can press on this button with whatever material and it works. So what we gonna do with Beastcage is we actually gonna integrate this button
into the cage.
Yeah, we'll put like.
Is there going to be a cutout and?
No. So it's gonna be a mechanical button. So with cutouts, because if you're gonna have some cage here on top, and you're just gonna have cut out,
then you're gonna stick your.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be any use from that, and it doesn't make sense to do something that cannot be used as it should be used. So we're just gonna do mechanical button.
Is it gonna be the same size button that's gonna press on the whole surface and like mimic the button?
No, just like we have power and volume control, the same type of button. So initially, yeah, you just can launch the app and you can release the shutter. So that's like limited functionality of that. However, since you can do that, why not to integrate it? Because otherwise, like, we were not sure if you can even do that just with regular pressure from anything on that button, but you can. So for that reason, we're gonna integrate it as a shutter release or camera launch control. So
definitely coming. What about the Beastgrip Pro?
Yeah, that's because people were asking how it's. I'm gonna show you because it's actually like.
We definitely have two models now that we need to address, right? The Pro.
Like all of the models, but we have Pro Max, the biggest one, regular is the smallest one, and then we have Plus, which is similar. So they're all about same size, about same position of the button. So once you mount it into the Beastgrip Pro, it's actually right in between those clamps.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you have access to that?
Yeah.
Yes, you do, but it's the same kind of thing. Like, yes, you have access, but it's not. I mean, you can use it, you can control your camera and everything, but ergonomically, once you have any cage or rig or whatever, it's just so comfortable to like
to use the screen,
your screen and. Even if you want to do as a shutter release, I mean, technically, I can press like that, and I can do that, but I think it's more comfortable and convenient just to go and tap on the screen.
Yeah.
So there is no interference. You're gonna fit your iPhone. It's all gonna, be exposed and you can push on it. But with
Pro.
15 or 16, the smaller one, because it's much smaller device,
Yeah.
you have to put it and align with your lens mount. Let me just show you quickly. Yeah, it is also like exposed. You can see, you know, my lens is aligned, and here you still can access that button and push and do everything. But I will also want to show clamp, because you can see this button is not like at the edge, it's towards
somewhere,
the middle.
yeah.
So you have two ways basically. You either mount your clamp
all the way to the right.
Yeah, and hold it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can access your button like that, but at least there is no interference. You're not covering that. But with a smaller one, you can do the same way. But on big one, you can actually mount it at the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But on the small one, you don't have that much room here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the only one spot where you can mount it.
I see.
But if you move and you cover that control,
it's not going to be pressing on it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, unless you're just gonna squeeze it hard, that's probably gonna press. But because those controls are flush with the surface of the iPhone, so
when you press the clamp, it doesn't actually press the.
So to summarize, Beastgrip Pro fits, Beastcam fits, Beastcage. We showed a few clips on Instagram showing this cage. It's a prototype, it's not a final design. We just wanted to test some of the new design for buttons, just to make it more like reliable, and the same for the lock for cover. But on the final one, we're gonna have extra button here for camera control, and also we are managed to reduce the size of the cage a little bit, reduce the weight, and also balance it a little bit better. But I guess we're gonna discuss it once we will have final like prototypes, so we can show in the videos we usually
So
do.
any news on when we can expect?
So design is practically finished. It just probably we're gonna have like final samples towards the end of October. So this year we're hoping to release them faster, just because Apple did release official drawings on Apple developer website on September 20, when iPhones were in stores. So compared to previous years, we had to wait longer. So yeah, design is almost finished. It just, I think, hopefully in November. I don't know, but we are hoping, we're aiming for that. We will see. But we'll do listings on the website for cages. Maybe we'll start taking pre-orders, and then we'll have more accurate ETA for that. But also we're gonna add a little few other things to, you know, make it better. But once we have listings, then maybe we're gonna do another video, just quick preview
for the cages.
Yeah, for the cages, because
I can see the design here. Some, you know, there's some changes.
Like those changes are just for lock and for buttons, but we also add in some like pin cutouts for like locking pins, because we have some ideas about like additional mounts for handles. Just make it more versatile and give users more options. It's not just like, oh, you have to use our handles. You can use like any handles, but we want to optimize like the design, because with side handle it's like really popular once we released it. However, you know, it's located across like the USB-C port, and if you have to connect some cables, you have to adjust your handle. Just, you know, we're trying to kind of change it a little bit so it's more like open to the port, so there is no like, you know, interference. And also but yeah, like all the existing stuff that we have, side handle with L bracket mount, it's all gonna fit the same way. So it's not like we're gonna release new cage and you have to buy new handles. Everything, whatever you have, it's still gonna be compatible. We just trying to kind of give users more options to use whatever gear they have, or they can use like our handles and grips. But stay tuned, because I think it's
we'll
like
talk
really
about
exciting.
this more once we know more. So have you tested the new iPhone with lenses?
Yeah, that's the main question.
Yeah, that is.
So all the lenses work perfectly. It's like, again, this camera module on 16 is like identical in terms of like protrusion, size, position.
So for the Beastgrip users, no need for new lens mount.
No upgrades.
Everything stays the same. Everything works
Everything
fine.
is like compatible.
Well,
like
that's
with
why it's
iPhone
universal.
15. Yeah.
That's why we call it universal.
With all the lenses, they all work perfectly. The thing is, this year we have 5x camera on both 16 Pro and Pro Max, and like we did video last year about 15 Pro Max 5x camera, and technically you have only two lenses that are compatible with that camera. It's macro and telephoto. So now we have 5x on both devices. I personally really liked like 3x camera. That's what I used mostly when I was traveling, filming videos, because we were able to use anamorphic lenses with 3x with perfect image quality. And like main camera is the best. However, sometimes you just want to add a little bit, because especially if you shoot with anamorphic, it's all like wide angle perspective. And sometimes when you have tighter shots, it just adds a little bit to the video. So that's why I liked 3x. This year we have only 5x, and again, anamorphic's not gonna work good on 5x. So that's for me a little bit sad.
Well, we have what we have.
Yeah, but otherwise, like, again, we're gonna test it more, and
probably gonna have a dedicated video or something to that.
Yeah, we're gonna do the same type of video we do every year, showing sample footage, with each lens. But you see, it's like with 5x, it's cool. You have that extra zoom, but at the same time you cannot use lenses, so it's kind of mixed feeling,
I see.
One hand, it's like I really like this super compressed perspective, but I would love to put anamorphic on that. Fortunately, it's
you still have a main camera.
Yeah, I mean.
So now let's talk about some new gear.
So we showed that video, right?
On our website.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, it's on the main page on our website. Just go click and watch it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I wish we had new iPhones, because that would be like really cool to do that, on like 16. But 15 worked amazingly for us. And we're not gonna share much details right now, but I know that people ask questions. Is it like DOF MK3 but only with PL mount, or is it completely different? Like, it's different. It's not DOF MK3.
It's a completely new adapter.
It's different, yeah. It's different type of like optical design, and basically there is like no ground glass, and that allows to achieve much better details compared to DOF with ground glass. We made it with PL mount initially, but we have some prototypes with EF. So we don't know, when it's gonna be released. We're doing like very limited run just to test the market. Hopefully we can get this adapter into some additional projects just to get feedback, because at current stage it's like very expensive to manufacture, but at the same time it's really cool what you can do with that.
Yeah, definitely with all the PL mount lenses.
Yeah, PL mount is such a good, secure mount. It's just like everything comes together. It's super solid. It's like really good.
And it's made for cages.
It's like we did it for cages just because like when we shot that O2 film, some of those Atlas lenses, they're getting big and heavy, you know,
Yeah,
like
definitely. Yeah.
138 is probably like this big. So you have to have like everything locked properly, and with universal and
Yeah,
adjustable
I can see
design,
why
yeah,
it's much better
it
to
may
have a
not
cage.
be like
So it's good. It has like a special plate, right?
yeah, it's like integrated plate inside of the mount, like actual adapter. So you don't have to align it, you don't have to do
Just
anything. You just
put it
place
in.
into the cage and it's set. We actually did a page on the website, like for that O2 film. We have some additional information, but we gonna do another video just talking about that adapter. Maybe we'll do some interview with DP and DOP for that project. We have some BTS footage from the project, so probably gonna do another video just to share more information. But on that landing page on our website, we have email sign up. So guys, if you wanna kind of stay up to date on that new adapter, sign up to a newsletter. We will release more information soon about.
And the same if you want to know, about the cages and release of the cages.
Yeah, just sign up to newsletter.
Yeah, because you're gonna get the news first.
And also, like for that project, we used additional cage, which was made for the cage.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that one. A cage for a cage.
Yeah, cage for the cage, because we had a chance to receive feedback from like some high-end productions, to understand what
needed for them.
What is good at current, cage design, what is bad, what they need.
What needs to be improved, what needs to be.
Yeah, so we did this like addition because we kind of realized, you can build like even bigger, bulkier cage just to have all the standardized stuff on that, or we can do like addition to the.
So explain for people who don't know nothing about it or haven't seen, it's the Beastcage. And you put the cage inside the cage.
So it's double cage.
It's a double cage now.
Yeah, and the only reason is to make it to all the up to standards for like rods, for support rods, for position, for base plates.
Yeah.
All the standard like threaded quarter-inch 3/8 mounts with pin pattern to lock different sort of equipment. Just a little bit more room to mount everything together because yes, it's super solid, it's like built like a tank. However, like for that film that we shot, those guys, they were on like big shoots for like years. They coming from like professional side of the things, so they built that rig with just bare minimum of equipment that they usually use. It's just like some power bank, SSD drive, follow focus, like wireless transmitter, couple of monitors. That's it, and that thing is already like that, And if you try to mount something like that
on the cage,
on this cage, which is still
small.
like tiny.
So basically, the new cage is more for a professional the big productions where you have a lot of lenses and heavy lenses, heavy equipment.
Or even if you want to add like teleprompters, everything is standardized. So like it's geared toward like more professional settings when you just need to add gear. So that's gonna be like a perfect addition because you don't have to kind of DIY anything. Everything is standardized, and you can build on top of that with all the standard equipment. For that project, like we collaborated with Atlas and Old Fast Glass. So Old Fast Glass, they provided all the equipment, and we like set it up quickly because everything just fit together. We're also gonna have like some diopter for anamorphics, which is really cool, and but we'll share more details soon. But yeah, just to summarize, like all the lenses work. We're gonna do video just showing each lens, and we're gonna have new cages with some exciting updates. We're gonna have additional attachments for the cages coming a little bit later after the release, and stay tuned for that new DOF adapter because, and if you didn't see that film,
Go and watch it.
check it out because it's like really cool.
So I think we covered everything.
I think, yeah.
I think we did. So, just wait for the next videos where we're going to talk more and give you some video examples. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to be the first one to know when we release a new video and stay on top of the new Beastgrip releases. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you, guys.